The reason for me
For
not being able to
sure.
get on right away was I was logged in as Corey and it won't let me log in. So if I'm logged in as Corey, so we're going to have a quick AMA tonight, guys. Are we ready? Are we on YouTube? Looks like it.
Corey's going to do that right now.
It says live on YouTube recording.
There we go. Yep. Got my notification. Watch live on YouTube.
Hey everybody, Peter Gaitner here for tonight's AMA. Of course, you can ask some questions if you put those in the Q&A. We're going to get through it pretty quickly tonight because I have a 7:30 call and I have an 8 o'clock call for our projects that we're working on. We are jamming away, just there are not enough hours in the day to fit in everything that we have to do. So we're setting up meetings for late at night at this point. So thanks for joining us and giving us the opportunity to share with you what we're doing with Nexus, where things are headed to. Of course, we are still in a bear market, right? Just from my personal experience and opinion, it's gonna last for quite some time. Now, for some of us, we might go, oh my goodness, oh no, and see that as a disappointment. I see that as a benefit because it gives us the chance to enter into more partnerships, the ability to find new projects, new things that we can get involved with, gives us the ability to build technology, will give us the ability for our partner Otherverse to launch their beta version of it, and some other stuff that we're going to be doing in the metaverse. Had a great call today with another group with Brian, which is going to help move things forward. So I just see it as an opportunity, and I know we all want to be, have Lambos and mansions and yachts tomorrow. What I want is for blockchain to reach its full potential. We want it to be able to make build a better world, right? Improve the situations that we're in and move stuff forward. We actually just had an interesting conversation earlier today with one of our partners, and they were talking about that NFTs, absolutely having to sell out on launch day. And I don't agree with that philosophy. I agree that if the utility is strong enough and the value is there, it doesn't matter whether they sell out in a day or 2 days or 4 days or 5 days, right? Same thing with tokens. If a token is launching and the utility and the promise of the project, the team that's behind it, are they able to establish and build community, right? If they're able to establish and build community, if they've got a great team behind it and a product that solves a problem that creates value for its end users, it doesn't matter whether that token takes off day 1 or day 50 or day 500 or day 1,000, right? It's all about building long-term wealth and being able to, not just, make a quick buck and then it's gone. So that's our philosophy here at Nexus Ecosystem. Our goal is we believe that community is commerce. When people come together for a commonality, a common purpose, and they focus on that common purpose, amazing things can and will happen. So that's what we're about, right? Is building that community, getting it together. And, some people will say, oh, it's taking too long, and they'll go do something else. That's okay. We're still going to be here when they come back. Or if they decide to come back in where we're headed to. So we're still focused on Star Babies. It's 9 days out or 8 days out for the launch of that, the public launch. We've made a couple changes to it. So the original idea behind Star Babies was to produce 3 films, sell 10,000 NFTs, which would put up the funding for 3 films. But what we realized is we're not getting as many people to participate as we want because they're in the UK and they're like, well, I can't buy an NFT if the movie's going to be filmed in the US or in another country. So what we've done is, and you can go to starbabiesnft.com. So starbabiesnft.com. And you can see where we split it now into 3 separate launches. 1 series with 3 sub-series. There is the origin, there's the sequel, and then there's the prequel. The origin funds are going to go towards producing a film in the US. So for the majority of people that are involved in that one, that are in the US, if you get a film role or shadow a director, or, you get to be on the set, you're not going to have to spend a huge amount of money, right, to get those benefits. The second one will be the UK. That will be the funds from those NFTs will go towards producing a film in the UK. So if people are getting those, that that's what's going to represent. And then the last one is Vietnam, and putting that together. Now, as we expand this and the secondary market sales go and start generating revenue to make more films, profits off of those films begin to bring in revenue, and that goes to make more films. Those films will have a broader space, meaning that will encompass them in all 9,999 NFTs now can benefit from the additional films that are going to be made and move forward. And then, of course, we'll have some that are more regional to that. There are a lot of things opening up, guys. So other countries that are looking at this and going, hey, wait, we'd like to have films made in our country as well. So here's it. This is on the site, guys, and you can see American region, UK region, and Vietnam region, and this will make it very good. Now, the only ones that we're launching on the 28th in the pre-sale are the 3,333 Origins one. So if you've participated already in the pre-launch ones, they will be in there. Now, let's say you're in the UK and you have a Origins one because you've already done it in the first series. If you've already done that, just this community, what we'll do is when we're ready to launch the UK ones, we will give you the opportunity, if you want to switch that for the Origins one for the UK one, we will do that if that's something that you want to do when that time comes. I would say that we're probably shooting about 30 to 45 days after Origins is completed to then do the UK. And then also then probably within 30 to 45 days after that, the Vietnam one. So we're talking about in the next 3 to 4 months, all three of these will be rolled out with 333. Now, here's the cool part is there are rarity throughout all 9,999 NFTs. But now what we're doing is we're going to put about 25 to 30 rare items only in the Origins collection. And then there'll be a different 25 to 35 in sequel. And then there'll be a different 25 or 35 within it. So there's going to be a lot more rarities and a lot more features in this in order for people to benefit and to be able to get involved with it. So this is a major change that we've made in order to get this done. And again, it really came down to this. We should have started right here. So we've made it to this point, but really I've been kicking myself, and the team will tell you, I just keep saying to myself, why didn't I think of this sooner? Why didn't we do this from the very start? Because it is the one that makes the most sense in the way that this is being produced. So yeah, when the time comes, Chad, if you want to buy some, we'll do a white list and all that stuff, or allow list when it comes time, and you can buy some in the second one and in the third one when that time comes. So our goal right now is to get through the Origin one, begin to find and develop the script for the US one. We're already going to start working on the UK one. Remember, guys, too, and somebody had mentioned to me, well, how are you guys going to make films? First of all, Jeff has experience in that area, but we have partnered with 3 different companies. So we've partnered with a company in Vietnam that is currently there making films. These are independent studios. That's what they do to make money. We've partnered with somebody in the UK. This is what they do. They make films, right? They're a film company. They've made actually 54 films already, anywhere from $50,000 budget up to about a $5 million budget. And the same thing has happened in the US. We have a film partner that's an independent studio that says, yes, we love to make films. We are making films. And so we already have a lot of that structure in place. Now, the cool thing is that our partners in the UK and Vietnam and the US, they already have distribution deals. They have the ability to monetize these films. And in order to what? Bring in more funds to make what? Picture 4, 5, and 6. Why? Because it creates more utility for the NFT holders. Movie 8, 9, and 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 90, right? Whatever that is, and keep making those films and keep adding roles. I would love it if someday, all 10,000 NFTs had a chance to be in a film, right? Or at least, be on set, or, meet and do that stuff, maybe shadow a director, maybe we can get to a couple of hundred people that have the ability to do that. This is one of the cool things about it. And this is why the conversation I had earlier where I said, guys, I don't think you have to sell out the NFTs on day one. Because if there's value to the NFT, I'm not buying it because it's selling out. I'm buying it because I want the value that it's going to provide. I want to be in a film. I want to go on set. I want to shadow a director. Now, for a secondary market, why would there be one? Because there are people who, if I said, hey, a speaking role in a film, how much would you pay for that? And they go, well, I'd give you $1,000. I'll give you 5,000. I'll give you 10,000, depending on the film, depending on the situation, right? These are all things that people are willing to pay. That is why this is so good, guys. This is why Starbase, this is why we're so excited about it. It's about a utility. It's not just the artwork on it. And the artwork is great, guys. Kids dressing up. Me and Dawn were talking the other day, and she's looking for some pictures. She has pictures of Bryce, her son, when he was younger, and he was doing dress up, right? He has a whole trunk of dress up stuff, and he's got a pirate's hat on, he's got a something else, a holster on from the West, and he's got like from the Westerns, and he's got whatever it is, right? So the reason for us to pick the toddlers, of course, is because this is redoing the film industry. It's a new way of doing it using NFTs, the membership idea that it is. And the reason for the toddlers wearing all the crazy stuff is it's really simple. This is what kids do when they normally dress up. Somebody asked today, hey, will these age as they go through the process? Well, of course, as the opportunity, as the project Stardom Chance moves forward, could there be some, preteen NFTs? And could there be, teenagers, right? And as this grows, and I believe if you read through the thing, if there's an additional series, then if you hold one, you would get an airdrop. Very much like everybody who held a Bored Ape Yacht got a mutant ape, right? So there'll be situations where a new NFT would be produced, and the existing holders of Stardom would get an additional NFT. And those can be, of course, quite valuable depending on the utility that is set up for those NFTs and what it is that they're able to do and be. And then, of course, there would always be extended opportunities that would be added to the existing NFTs, the Genesis series that's here, whether it's the origin, the sequel, or the threequel, right? So we couldn't do a prequel because a prequel comes before the sequel, before the origin, right? So we did the threequel, right? I got to get that in my own head because I mentioned it earlier to someone and I said sequel, and it's not, it's threequel. So that's where we're at with Stardom Chance and Star Babies. Things are moving forward, partnerships are being formed, and the first film will probably begin, and actually the US one will begin to look for scripts and stuff. The UK one will probably start shortly after the NFT series is done, and then Vietnam shortly after that. So I would say by first quarter of this next year, which is not that far away, right? We're talking 5-6 months away. All 3 movies should be in development. And then, of course, we should start seeing people showing up on set and doing different stuff like that. I don't know, Jim. I mean, we had our community purchased about 500 NFTs. We had about 200 more that were purchased through that. So that's about 700. And then, of course, we won't know until how many total that we have sold. So far, there's about 700 of the 33333 that have been spoken for. And then, of course, 333 of those go into Treasury. So really, it's about 1,000 that have been spoken for so far. And then the rest will be sold, of course, on that. We've got several lists that we've already built of people that are on the allow list, or A list, as we call it, in there. So we've got that going on pre-mint. We also have the original registrations. We have another registration list, and we're doing shares and all of that stuff. So we're hoping that we are able to move all 3,333 right out of the gate and get things going. But remember, guys, I don't think that this needs to sell out in order for us to begin to create value for these, because once the first film is announced and then we start saying, okay, here's the, so when we mint on mint day, there's 120 of the, there was 350, we took it to 360, 120. And by the way, in about the next week, we're probably going to add a few more roles for speaking roles to each group. So it's 120. Those 120 will be spread over the whole 33333. Okay, so 3,333 NFTs with 120 spread out throughout that whole thing. So let's say on mint day and all that, we sell 2,400 total with everything that we've done, and we've got 600 or 700 left in the kitty, 800, whatever it is. The good thing is some of those 800 will still be speaking roles in a movie. They will still be shadow a director. There will still be a be on set, right? All of those parts of all of the offerings will still be in there and included in the 33333 that are of whatever the remaining of that is left. So that's going to be very interesting as we roll this out and as we get this going. Guys, along with the market that's here, is everything is in a bear market. And that is just something that we need to deal with. The good thing is you guys everyone else out there, right? It's part of the community. You're dealing with it when you look in your wallet, maybe once a day or, whatever, when you look at it. We have to deal with it every single day, all day long, because this is all we do, right? I don't have another job. My entire effort is put towards Nexus ecosystem, TruBadger, Safufied, NSI. This is what we do. This is what my partner Doug does. It's what Dawn does. It's what Corey does. This is what we do every single day. And so we're battling with it all the time. But again, we see it as a great opportunity. If this bear market lasts the next 9 or 10 months, in month 8, I'll be grateful as heck, because we would have been able to develop, put things in place, get everything in order for us to get as many out. It's almost like this, right? I see it as when the bull market comes and things really start to run, and who knows when that's going to happen. Some of us will have Dixie cups out there, right? So we'll have a Dixie cup because maybe we were involved in one project and we have a little bit and we held on to it, and that's our Dixie cup. And when it starts pouring opportunity, right, digital assets, our Dixie cup will probably get a few pieces of the, a few things will catch in the Dixie cup. Other people will have a solo cup, right? They'll have one solo cup sitting there on the ground, right? And a solo cup will pick more up than more than likely the Dixie cup, right? But then there'll be other people that will say, you know what? I understand that the technology has tremendous amount of value for humanity, moving all the way into Web 3.0 and into the metaverse and all that stuff. And they're going to put out 5 or 10 or 6 or 20 Dixie cups. If this bear market goes for another 9, 10 months, we're going to have out there, the kiddie swimming pools, right? And not one of them, but a lot of them, right? Spread out all over the place, because it's going to give us the opportunity to do that. And I got to believe a kid's swimming pool will pick up a lot more digital opportunity than a Dixie cup and a solo cup. So that's just my philosophy on it, guys. I don't believe that we will see any giant run this year. I don't think we'll see it early next year. I think we've got some time here to put things in place and get it going. And I know that some people are probably throwing rocks at me right now going, Peter, shut up, but it's just the way it is, guys, right? The technology is in the development stage, and it's going to take some time to put it together. But I do know we're going to be here when that next run comes. And I believe it'll be the longest, the biggest run is to date, and it is going to create a lot of digital wealth for a lot of people that had the faith and continued to believe. and continue to stay engaged and educate themselves, right? So here's the problem, guys, too, is, and we've been in this position. So when we re-engaged, the bull market was in full run. And so we're trying to catch up and stuff's flying from every direction. And so it was hard to get really educated on it. I love this time right now because I've got time to get educated. I don't have to jump in a project in 2 seconds. I can essentially take a week to look at it because it's not going to 50 or 70x or 90x, right? And then I'm too late for it. So it gives me the opportunity to make great decisions, to evaluate the companies like all of us should be doing, and go through that process. So if we have any questions, guys, we're going to wrap things up here in the next few minutes because I, again, do have another call to do in about 4 or 5 minutes. But we're excited about where we're headed to. We're excited about the technology, and we're excited to grow this community. It still is, as far as I know, for a free service, TruBadger Nexus ecosystem is the only one that has an onboarding system. We've cut it back to about 20 hours a week right now. All comes down to saving resources. So we've had to limit the amount of time that we have it open because, again, we're in a bear market. But it is there for you to get people involved in the crypto market in the most safest way possible, and for them to get the education that each and every single person needs to have in order to be in this space. But innovation continues to move forward. Opportunities continue to be launched and developed and put forward every single day. You just have to be engaged in order to find them, and not sitting on the sidelines and go, oh, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done this. Rising tide raises all ships. Now, there is a caveat to that. You must have a boat in the water, right? If your ship ain't in the water, it doesn't matter how high the tide rises. As a matter of fact, if the tide rises so high and you're standing on land and you don't have a boat in the water, you're probably going to drown, right? So you need to have a boat. You need to be in the game, right, in order to benefit from it. So, Henry, did anyone else lose sound, or just Henry? Henry said he lost sound. Everybody else have me? If somebody could put yes, you still got me. My little mic is still going. Okay, good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, guys. Well, if that is all we have, I don't believe, do we have Dawn with us for any quick updates that she has? Oh, one more thing, guys.
No, we don't. Bryce isn't feeling well tonight, so no.
We were getting ready to mint the NFTs for the event that we had last October. It's been a while since we did it. But then we were working on it. We've been working on a project, and that project, we have a meeting with them, I think day after tomorrow. And they said, can you give us a minute? We'd like to be able to launch those in a very special way. And so we're waiting to meet with them on Thursday, so we can see if we can make them a little bit more exciting and a little bit more better than what they were going to be in the first place. So we're excited about that. And we'll be having a meeting on that. I think it's Thursday, I think is when it is. That's why I wanted to, Dawn knows the date and the time of it. I just know it's on my calendar. That's all I know, right? So, all right, guys. Well, I have a meeting to go to. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do for us. Community is commerce. I will say it again. Community is commerce. It is the way that the future is going to be moved forward. Web 3.0, metaverse. This is our opportunity as individuals to band together in a community and help each other out financially and make this a better place than when we got here. Thank you for joining us tonight, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.